Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening. My name is Muhammad Rijal Fikri, and I am from the English Student Association in the Education Sciences, Faculty of Education Sciences in University of Muhammadiyah Jakarta. So today I'll be explaining to you guys about English proficiency test. So basically, the English proficiency test is to see how good you are and to see and to measure your English skills and values. So I'm going to explain the types of these English proficiency tests. There are many types, but the most commonly used widely globally, there are 4 types. So the first one is TOEFL. And there are IELTS, and there are TOEIC, and last one is you can use Duolingo. So let's start from the first one. What is TOEFL? TOEFL stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language. It is commonly used for students, college students, or maybe high school students who want to, submit for universities, for university admissions, mostly used for that. And the second one is IELTS. People use IELTS here. It stands for International English Language Testing System. So basically IELTS, we use IELTS for the same, like before, TOEFL. We use it for university admissions, but we could also use it for immigrations and working-based tests, like if you want to work in another country, if you want to stay there or immigrate there for a couple of times. You can use IELTS. So there are differences. And third one is TOEIC. TOEIC basically stands for Test of English. I apologize. It's called Test for English for International Communication. Let me check that again. Yeah. So basically, TOEIC is for those who specifically wants to work outside the country. So for those who want to, sign up for corporations and stuff, you can use TOEIC, most often used in TOEIC. But you can also use it for university, academic and stuff. And the last one is Duolingo. Duolingo is mostly used for academic submissions for universities and stuff. But it is quite different for its purpose. It's mostly used for that again, but the methods and the systems is mostly different from these 3. Now let's talk about the format and length. So we have TOEFL. Now let's start with TOEFL. So TOEFL includes reading, plus listening, plus writing, and speaking. So we have these 4 types of tests in TOEFL, and each of the tests is accumulated by each score. You can get around 30 points for each. They have the same 30 points, and once they are all accumulated, you can get the maximum score of 120. So basically TOEFL is a English proficiency test which is computer based. There are computer IB10 ITT test. There are types of variations, but it works like that. So it's most commonly used. And now let's get to the next one. We have the IELTS test. The IELTS, it is from the British Council. So the test contains the same thing like before. It contains reading, writing, listening and speaking. But mostly in speaking here, on the test we speak in person. We speak with the test person, we speak with them, so they rate us in person. And they have a different system score, like TOEFL. So if TOEFL gets a maximum score of 120, IELTS is much simpler. It has from 0 until 9 bad scores. So yeah, so basically from reading it could go from 0 until 9. Same goes with listening and speaking, and they accumulate all of them, all the scores until 9 of maximum points. But it has increments of 0.5. So when getting IELTS score, you cannot get like, let's say 6.3. You cannot get 7.2. But the scores you're getting is a 0.5 increments, which is around only 6.0 or 6.5 or 7.0 and 8.5. So there's no 2 or 3, it's only divided by halves. So we have a different score system. And let's move on to the next one. Now we have the TOEIC system. So it focuses on the English used in the workplace or something like that. So the scores contain around here. So the most commonly used from TOEIC is we can choose listening and reading. Yeah, these are the most commonly used. There are also writing and speaking, but not many use that on TOEIC level. So we use listening and reading, which basically each test contains a maximum score of 495. So from 0 to 495. Same goes here, 495, which both scores accumulate at a maximum of, you can calculate, around zero to 990. So these are the scoring system in TOEIC. And the most commonly used is listening and reading. There are other tools, but not many use them. And yeah, that is about the scoring system of TOEIC. And last is Duolingo. Duolingo is a bit different here. If we look at the history of Duolingo from the first time it appeared, mostly during the COVID times or after the COVID times, people use Duolingo because if we try to attend the English proficiency test offline on those places, it's a bit difficult during these times, and Duolingo had a much simpler way. So it costs more affordable, it is efficient, it is much simpler. Duolingo. The scoring system is not based like before. If you have TOEFL, IELTS and TOEIC, we divided their test variations, but In Duolingo, it is an adaptive one. So what does an adaptive means? On the test system, it contains many. It could be mixed. Yeah, mixed. When you take the test, you could be doing a reading test, and then you suddenly do a writing test, and then you suddenly do listening or speaking. And speaking, same with IELTS, they test you in person. So it's mixed, it's adaptive. And the score system is much simpler. It's from 0 until maximum score of 160. So that is all about the scoring system of these 4 types of English proficiency tests. And let's talk about the acceptance of these 4 tests. So we have TOEFL. TOEFL is mostly accepted in big countries like USA, Canada, and some European countries. And we have IELTS. Mostly accepted in, the US, Australia, and some European countries. For TOEIC, it is widely accepted in Japan, Korea, and other countries which we need to apply our English proficiency test, mostly widely accepted there. And Duolingo, it is also accepted globally, but it is still growing. So there are more than 4,000 universities accept the Duolingo test, and it's growing. It's still adapting and stuff. So yeah, this is all about the English proficiency test, and I hope you can choose which test fits your style or which test suits what you need, and we hope that you'll study more and get along with it. That is all. Thank you for listening. Billahi fi sabilil haq, fastabiqul khairat. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.